Hi, amazing viewers. Welcome to Christianity over Islam with Shamoun. And on today's episode of debate, honest Muslim shocked after Shamoun answers tough questions about Jesus. Let's watch this amazing video.
Yeah, I just had a question about Matthew 24:36. I had it wrong, I apologize.
So there are no one knows?
Yeah, that's the exact one, yeah.
And you think, you assume that means he's not God?
No, but I have questions regarding it. So
yeah, I'll answer that. But before I do, you're asking it because you're assuming that somehow that means Jesus can't be God? Is that what you're asking?
not
Okay, so
necessarily.
let me know specifically what you're asking about it.
I'm just wondering how it works. You know, Jesus is God, and he has limited himself in
So
some.
then that's what you're asking. You just said, well, basically.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Number one,
Go for it.
you agree that if this is chapter 24, Matthew doesn't want you to ignore the 23 previous chapters, right?
Correct, yeah.
And Matthew has already set you up that when you come to this passage, that he's already shown you how not to interpret and how to interpret it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now I'm going to get to the answer, but I'm going to now show you what Matthew already told us before we got here, right?
Sure.
Go to Matthew 1. Let me work you through this.
Sure.
Watch here. Matthew 1:20. What is, you want to read it? You can.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, please do.
All right, so she will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins.
Now, the angel told Joseph, call his name Jesus because he's going to do this. What is he going to do?
save the people from their sins.
His people from their sins. Now, the word Jesus, Yeshua, means Yahweh is salvation. So he's saying, call him Yahweh's salvation because he's coming to save his people from their sins. The angel's telling Joseph. Now, let me show you why this is important in light of the Old Testament. Open up Psalm 130.
All right. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand?
Now, you understand what that means, right? If God were to call you into judgment for sin, he would destroy everyone, right? Because no one is sinless, right?
Yeah, I understand that, yeah.
Okay. That's every creature, right? If Jesus isn't God, then how can he save anyone? He would need to be saved. That's number one, right here.
Sure.
Now read verse 4. Verse 4.
But with you, there is forgiveness that you may be feared.
So thank God you're merciful and patient, that you don't want to destroy us, but you're patient because you want to forgive us. Number one, the angel told Joseph, this baby who's born, he is Yahweh's salvation. He will be saving people from their sins. But if Jesus is not God, you cannot say that of him because right here you're told, if God were to call people into account, no creature would survive. But now watch Psalm 130, 7-8. Same Psalm, Psalm 130, verse 7-8. Who saves people from sin? Read it.
O Israel, hope in the Lord. For with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption. And he will redeem Israel from all his iniquities.
So who alone saves people from sin?
Well, it has to be Jesus, according to these.
But here, no, here.
Oh, God, Lord, the Lord.
But the angel said the baby Jesus will do that. Go back to Matthew 1. How does he do that if he's not God?
Yeah, okay. I see the point you're making very clearly.
And I'll get to Matthew 24, but before you jump, let me
sure.
make some more points.
Of course, sorry.
So number one, Matthew already began by telling you that Jesus does something that only God can do. How if he's not God? Number two, now watch the second part. This is the one that's going to show you he's Yahweh God, but he's not the Father.
Yeah.
Read 22, 23.
All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us.
So when the Virgin Mary gave birth to Jesus, that fulfilled that a virgin would give birth to who?
So he has to be God, right?
God with us, right?
Yeah, yes, of course, yeah.
If Matthew began by telling you Jesus is Yahweh God, then however you interpret Matthew 24:36, Matthew does not want you to misinterpret it to deny that Jesus is Yahweh God. He began by telling you he's Yahweh God.
Yeah, I understand that. I can see that point.
We got that, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't have any contentions to that.
All right, now let's go back to explain. If you got that, now we can explain.
Yeah, sorry, I probably should have said that at the start. I don't contend that he's not God. I'm just struggling.
Isaac, to be fair, you said, well, how can he be God if he doesn't know they are? You did say that.
Okay, yeah, sure. I probably did say that.
Now, but we established that, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah, of course.
Now, we clearly establish that Jesus, whatever he means, cannot mean that he's not God. So then why would he say, nor the Son? Well, Matthew doesn't tell us how to interpret this. Meaning, Matthew doesn't come out and say, hey, by the way, this is why Jesus said it. He just writes it because he's just recording what Jesus says. So now it's left up to us to try to figure out.
Okay.
There's only one of two ways we can understand this. Because number one, remember, Jesus is not just God, but he's born as a male baby, right?
Correct.
So he's truly human, right?
Yes, two natures.
I'm going to walk you through this because this is our Christian theology. It's rich and deep. And I'm going to then show you two possibilities. Could Jesus be truly human if he didn't grow?
No, humans have to grow.
Could Jesus be truly human if he didn't eat food?
No, we need to eat, to sustain ourselves.
Could he be truly human if he wasn't weak and tired?
No, he'd have to be,
Okay.
we have to
Could he be truly human if he was all-knowing?
No. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Now you're getting the puzzle. See? If he's truly human, go ahead, yeah?
It's just, he still does miracles on behalf, in some capacity. So I'm wondering while he's
you're changing the subject. Don't go to miracles. Stick here.
I
Don't
think
jump, because I'll jump.
not quite a jump.
Yes, you are, because we're talking about knowledge. Knowledge has nothing to do with miracles.
Okay, sure. I can see, yeah, sure.
All right. But even if you want to go into miracles, I want to show you that the Father does the miracles, Jesus does the miracles, and the Spirit does the miracles because they're one God and they do all things together. It's not either or.
Okay.
But that you're changing some down. You want me to jump with you? I can, or you want me to deal with this?
Let's continue where we are. I apologize. Let's continue where we are.
So Jesus, if he's truly human, cannot know everything, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Jesus as a man with a waking consciousness. You have a waking consciousness. So you're awake. You're conscious, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
Well, okay, but you get the point. Now, is it not true, and this is a scientific fact, you also have a deeper subconscious?
Yeah, I assume there is. I'm not an expert in the field, but yeah, I assume there is.
I mean, that's medically true. I mean, this is even
sure.
psychological studies show it. And it's also demonstrated that in your waking consciousness, you don't recall all the knowledge embedded within your subconscious mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now, you understand how complicated that makes us. We have one nature that's limited, finite, temporal.
Yeah.
And in this nature, we have layers of consciousness. So that in one level, I know less than I do on another level, right? So why would you be surprised that if Jesus is man, he would have layers of consciousness? On one level, he knows more than on another level. But then when you add to that he has a divine nature, he becomes all the more complex.
Yeah, sure. So I might be making a massive assumption here, but in my mind, as he does have this, duality, 100% man and also divinity, I would have thought, despite his human form, at some point, he'd still know the hour.
Who told you he doesn't? You're not listening to me. Who told you he doesn't?
Explicitly, no one says that he doesn't.
Okay, so you see again, you did that false dichotomy. If he has two natures, God and man, that means as a man in his waking consciousness, he would know everything, right?
Correct. He would not know everything.
And as a man coming to serve the Father, he would only relay and communicate and know in his human mind what the Father wants him to know, right?
Sure.
But because he's God, the same Jesus will show you he does know everything, not either or. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Go to Matthew 11:27.
Okay.
All things have been handed over to me by my Father. Now watch. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Now let's unpack this. Christ is saying he's a kind of person that no one knows intimately and truly and completely except the Father. What is Jesus assuming by saying this?
I'm not sure on the assumption, to be honest. You'd have to walk me through that.
Can you say, no one knows who I am, only God knows and understands me?
Ooh, no, I'm not sure I can.
You can't, because that would be blasphemy.
Yeah, I can't.
What you're actually saying is, look, I'm an incomprehensible being, beyond human comprehension, and requires an infinite mind to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Why would Jesus say that? Look what he said. No one knows the Son except the Father. Who does he think he is?
Well, yeah, he's claiming, divine nature to be God.
Now, let's go to the second part. Can you as a creature say, no one knows me except God, and no one knows God except me?
No, I can't say that.
Because this assumes that it's reciprocal, meaning,
Yeah.
I know God the way he knows me, and God knows me the way I know him, meaning I have the same knowledge that God has of me that I have of him. Can a creature say that?
No,
because God the Father is an infinite mind, right? Can a creature say, I am the only one who knows him, and I know him the way he knows me?
No, a creature can't. They can't say
So that's what Jesus said. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son. This is why now you need the Son to reveal God to you, right?
Yeah, I understand that completely. Yeah.
So what is that a claim of? Is Christ claiming to be omniscient and incomprehensible? Well, let's take it a step further.
Okay.
Does the Father know every thought that Jesus has?
Yes.
Now, if the Son knows the Father the same way the Father knows the Son, that means the Son knows every thought of the Father, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that include the day or hour? Because that's one of the thoughts in the Father's mind.
Okay. I didn't think of it from that perspective.
Does he?
Tick. Yeah, he has to. Yeah.
That's the mystery of our faith. It's not either or, it's both and. As God, he knows everything the Father does, but he's meant.
Thank you. I didn't think of it. I was looking at it from, Jesus doesn't know, therefore, how does he not know if he's... Okay, that makes sense.
Because the problem is, we don't read the Bible in context, and we don't see that they're affirming he's both God and man. As man, he has human limitations, but he's still God, and as God, he has all the divine attributes. It's both existing in one person, not either or.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's the traditional interpretation, but there's another interpretation.
Can I interject quickly? If that's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
The other interpretation I've seen is due to sort of more to do with Greek words, and I'm not good with Greek.
What
to
is
do
it
with
again?
I think he's talking about the declarative interpretation.
Yeah.
The second interpretation.
Yeah, so the other interpretation I've heard is it's to do with the coined Greek word which means
Yes.
to declare. But
Ego, that was the second interpretation.
Okay,
Now,
right.
this is an interpretation that's ancient. But remember what I said. Matthew doesn't tell us what interpretation told, right? So it's up to us. So I can't say this is right, that's wrong. Both are possible because Matthew never comes down and says, here's how you resolve it. So that means a Christian is free to take either interpretation. But now let's talk about the second interpretation. The word here, Edon, comes from Edo. That's a Greek word, Edo, can mean that there is something that will not be made known. Something not made known. How do we know? Because if you go to 1 Corinthians 2:2, that's how it's used by Paul.
Yep.
1 Corinthians 2:2. So I'm going to give you the second interpretation.
Okay, thank you.
But you're free to hold either one, but you cannot deny that the same Jesus in the same gospel says he's God and knows everything the Father does.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's this word, Edo. This is the same Greek word, 1 Corinthians 2:2. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. That word know, same word. Now when Paul says, I decided to know nothing, he doesn't literally mean he has amnesia. He forgot everything. I only know that Christ. What he means is, literally, this is what he means. I decided to make nothing known to you except Jesus and his death. That's all I'm going to make known to you because that's my focus.
Yeah.
But no one would assume that Paul means he doesn't know anything else, right? So now let's go with that interpretation. Let's go with that interpretation. Are you ready?
Yeah. Sorry.
Now let's translate it with this meaning. Of the day or hour, no man makes known. Neither the angels of heaven make known, nor the Son makes known, but only the Father makes known. Now we ask why. Why can no man make known the hour? Because they don't know unless God makes it known to them.
Yeah.
Why can't the angels make known the hour? Because they don't know unless God reveals it to them and lets them make it known, right?
Yeah.
But now when we come to Jesus, why can't the Son make it known? Well, he knows it, but he can't make it known because he only does what the Father tells him.
And I'm guessing that still works in the same kind of dual process, right? So only the Father can do.
Even if he wasn't a man, being the perfect Son who perfectly carries out the Father's will, he only does what the Father wants him to do, whether as a man or not. Because the Trinity teaches Father, Son, Holy Spirit are perfectly united and inseparable.
Yeah.
So they never oppose each other. They only do the same thing. So the Son and the Spirit do the Father's will because the Father's will is the Son's will and the Spirit's will. They're never in competition because Jesus said the same thing about the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, sure. They have one divine.
Okay. So if we go that interpretation, let me repeat again. Of the day or hour, no man makes known. Neither the angels in heaven make known, nor the Son make known, but the Father alone. Why? Because men can't make it known because they don't know unless God reveals it to them, and he hasn't. The angels don't make it known unless God reveals it to them, and he hasn't. The Son doesn't make it known, even though he knows it, because he only does what the Father tells him to do.
Okay, sure.
Now, let me add a third element. Go back to Matthew 24:36, show it to him. Let me add a third element. Okay. Now, even in this passage, do you see that Jesus shows he's not a creature? What happened?
Which verse am I looking at? Sorry.
Sorry, we lost the screen somewhere. Hold on. Okay, it's good.
No worries.
That's Satan get angry. We rebuke Satan by the power of the blood of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, now you ready? Yeah, that's the blood. Is that everything?
No.
Okay, now this passage shows that Jesus is not a mere creature because I want you to see the ascendancy. When it says no one, he means no man. Because if he means no one, inclusive, then he wouldn't say angels. They would already be included, right? So when he says no one, he means no man, neither the angels. Now, according to the Bible, angels and humans make up all of creation. When you talk about angels and humans, that's all creatures, right? According to the Bible, whether you believe it or not. Okay, now, now do you have it on the screen?
I'm going to show him. You wanted to? Were you gonna
No,
show
I
him?
mean, 1 Corinthians 4, but it's okay. We can. He does. Okay, here he agrees. Now watch here. Now I want you to catch that this passage, which Muslims think prove their case, ends up destroying Islam and proving the Trinity. Watch.
Sure.
No man knows, Matthew 24:36. Neither the angels know. Well, that's all of creation, because creation consists of angels and humans. But where did Jesus place himself? He didn't place himself among angels nor humans. He put himself above them. How can you be above all creatures if you're a creature?
Well, you wouldn't be. You'd be uncreated.
But he just put himself above them. He goes,
Yeah.
This is the place where this video get more interesting. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do it to subscribe.
Yeah, I get the point. I don't contend this. He is uncreated.
the other element, no. Notice, though, who he belongs to. Not creation, but to the Father, because he says he's the Son to the Father. He doesn't say that about the rest.
Yeah.
So you got the Trinity here.
Yeah. I don't condemn the Trinity. And I believe it's a thing. I think it's even some of the Old Testament in some manner. But I don't have like a Muslim perspective on it. I think it's.
No, I'm just saying the Muslims, because someone in the Muslim one asked a question. Muslim, this shows that Allah is a false God. Muhammad is an antichrist. Because even here, Jesus says, I am the Son, and I uniquely belong to the Father, and God is the Father, and Allah is none of that. So I hope you don't bring this up, but go ahead.
I have a first question. So you were saying how the Father will, declare the time. So with that, that Jesus submits to his will. If Jesus made an action, would the Father submit to Jesus' will, or how does that work?
No, I mean, you saying submit. That's the wrong use of the term.
Okay.
Jesus' actions are always in perfect unit to the Father's will. He acts according to the Father's will. He said it in John 5:19, but he also said it about the Holy Spirit.
Sure. Okay.
Because if they're one God, then there cannot be a difference in decision and will, because then that would mean they're not one God, they're three separate beings, and that would be tritheism.
Yeah, I understand how that argument falls quite.
Do you want me to show you the verses where Jesus says he only does what the Father does, and the Father and him do it together always?
No, I've been watching you guys for quite a while. I kind of know those arguments in and out. But yeah, those are my main questions. I have nothing else.
Good man. Come home. Come back to Jesus. He's waiting for you, buddy.
How did you on Skype?
All right. I'll reach out to you later.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Isaac. Take care of yourself, bro.
You too. Bye-bye.
So do you guys believe that Muhammad claimed to be a prophet?
Well, I don't know what the historical Muhammad said, because the sources you have about Muhammad are not reliable. They're about 100 to 200 years after when he supposedly lived. So I don't know.
Wait, no, do you believe he made the claim, at least, the claim?
Okay, Lou, let me repeat again. You didn't hear me. I don't know if the historical Muhammad made those claims, because we don't have reliable eyewitness testimony from the time Muhammad supposedly lived. Your sources are 100, 200 years after he supposedly lived. So I don't know what the historical Muhammad said. Can you prove to me that he even exists?
The companions and everything.
How do you know those companions existed? Do you have any sources from the first century, not 100 to 200 to 300 years later? Because you're not listening, bro.
Yeah, but I understand. But if you claim we don't have historical evidence, I can say the same thing about anything in history.
No, you're lying, because even atheist scholars, like Bart Ehrman says, the Gospels are first century accounts. And we have even writings from the very disciples of the apostles preserved, like Ignatius. You can't say that about the New Testament, but that's too pokey. So can you show me any evidence?
What do you mean by Ignatius?
Ignatius of Antioch, we have 7 letters preserved, and he was a disciple of the apostles. Don't change the subject, because you're doing too pokey, which means you're being a coward here. I hope you're not. How do you know that Muhammad said any of the things that your hadith said he said?
From the science of the hadith. The
science of the hadith was fabricated. It was made up. It was made up over 100 years later. Anyone can make up names and say, this is thiqqa. What evidence do you have?
Look, to be honest, I thought you were gonna at least accept, this is actually a really big claim to say that. First of all, do you believe he existed at the time?
Go deal with the scholars. They're all making that claim that you can't trust your sources. So,
okay.
You want to come to the Trinity, or you want to have a field day destroying Islam?
No, first, I didn't know the subject was the Trinity first. I don't know too much about the Bible, so I can't comment on that too. But just
let's for argument's sake say okay. For argument's sake, okay. If Muhammad claimed to be a prophet, okay, let's go with it. This is an argument's sake. All right, he did. Okay, another one.
Okay, so it's a question for the both of you. So, what is your position on his message?
On his what?
On his message,
what about our position on his message?
I don't know if you have the same. I don't know if you have the same position between you and Edri, but
we have the exact same.
Our position is, if Muhammad did claim to be a prophet, then that means he's one of the false prophets that Jesus said would come, inspired by Shaitan, Satan.
The reason for this is because, number one, he rejects what the previous prophets taught. He contradicts what Jesus said. He contradicts what Moses said. He contradicts what all the prophets said about the Messiah, about God, about all of these things. That's one. Number two, he taught a lot of heinous, devilish things that we see go against the morale and the character of God, that we see that Jesus taught and the prophets taught, the apostles taught. And thirdly, he was bewitched according to your sources.
We go with your sources, yeah.
Okay, so he was like a normal person who lied, basically.
Yes.
No, not too quick, because you're going to say, then why would he? No. You can be a normal person and be deceived by Satan into thinking you're a prophet of God. Your prophet was deceived. Satan deceived him. And so you believe the lie of Satan, his father.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, but for me, it doesn't make sense, because at the time of Mecca, I understand your point, but for me, it doesn't make sense, because at the time of Mecca, they were already pagans. They were far, far from Christianity.
So what?
if anything, Satan would want the pagans to remain as they are.
No, not really.
Bringing at least the message of Islam kind of connects Christianity. Like,
No, not
What's
really.
the-
Can I correct you?
it doesn't connect
Now I'm going to
with
correct
anything.
that. Okay. No, not really, because if we go by your sources, there was a temptation that the Meccans would convert to Christianity because there was a Christian presence. And so Satan, being smart, said, hold on, instead of the pagans following the truth, I'm going to send them a fake prophet to deceive them into worshiping one God who's a false God, but they don't know it. No, your logic doesn't follow.
so why only Mecca and not other? Like, because
that
at the time,
Buddy,
no, like at the
Satan's been doing it all over the world. He did it with Joseph Smith and the Mormons. What are you talking about, dude? Satan's been doing it since the time Christ left the earth. He's been raising up false prophets like Joseph Smith.
but-
Why don't you follow Joseph Smith?
but Joseph Smith, is it the false prophet of the Mormons? Is it?
Wait, but they say your prophet is a false prophet. Their prophet.
Yeah, I know. But
Why
Joseph
don't you
Smith.
follow him?
Yeah, but Joseph Smith derived from Christianity, at least. Like
Yeah, but
Muhammad.
not right from Christianity too. You have Christian sources and Jewish sources in your Quran, so you're not saying anything. Why aren't you following Joseph Smith?
Yeah, but does Joseph Smith affirm the Trinity? Like, does he accept?
No, he had a different view of the Trinity. No, he believed there were three gods. So he was another false prophet who changed who God is, like your prophet changed who the real God is. So aren't you following Joseph Smith? Because he claimed an angel Moroni came to him and he deciphered golden plates, and that's where the Book of Mormon came. So how come you don't follow him?
Yeah, but Joseph Smith was at least, he claimed to be Christians. He didn't come with something completely different. Another
We don't
ideology.
believe that he's a Christian. He was a polytheist.
He claimed. No, I know. But at least he claimed it.
What does
So
that
what does
think?
it have to do with anything? Your
Yeah.
prophet claimed that he's following the prophets of the Bible like Esau, but he lied because he was deceived.
So, yeah. So, can you give me another example of a false prophet?
I think that Joseph Smith is a perfect
how many
example.
how many want me to give you? There's people over the
No.
world. Even,
Okay.
even your prophet said there will be 30 Dajjal that come after him. So are you saying he lied?
No. I'm not saying that. And
There have been
I'm saying,
so many false prophets after Christ, even now. Even in India and in Korea, there are people who are claiming to be messiahs, like Sai Baba, who died, but he claimed to be the Indian Messiah, but he was Hindu. So get to the point. Why don't you follow them? Why are you following Muhammad? In fact, right now as we speak, there are people, thousands, who've seen Sai Baba, who've seen him do miracles. One of them became a Christian, and he said, I saw him levitate, emit blue light, make food and jewelry appear out of nowhere. And thousands saw it, and they're still alive. And we have no eyewitnesses for your prophet. So why don't you follow Sai Baba?
I don't know. First, did Sai Baba claim to be a Christian?
No, he claimed to be the Messiah, but he was Hindu. Because they say Jesus was Hindu, like you say he's a Muslim.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I want you to give me an example first. It's not even my question, but I just want to know.
Get to your point in time, because you haven't proven Muhammad the true prophet.
No, I don't want to prove. I just want to ask a question.
Okay, and get to the second question. We're going to be here for in circles. I gave you one. That's all I need to give you. I don't need to give you more. So get to
No, it's not. No, I didn't say one for. I just said one who came with that completely different. Who didn't claim to be Christian at all.
That's a stupid argument, dude.
I don't understand. Why does that matter?
Yeah.
So I'll just, okay. So there was someone.
Arguments because your Quran, the bulk of it is taken from Christian fables and the Talmud.
Okay. So
I'll prove it to you. Okay, let me prove it to you. Hold on. Okay. It says that.
First, can I just? I'm just gonna turn on the lights for 1 second.
We changed the topic. We want to go back to China. Go ahead.
We still hold on a second.
All right, yeah. We'll do that.
Everybody, make sure you guys are hitting the like
No,
button.
that HD coward is back again. That was barking.
No,
Who's Scott? Blows it to women with JJ's. All right, what's up? You ready? Okay.
Yeah. So
Second question about Muhammad, because we want to go to the Trinity, but go ahead.
yeah. So Muhammad claimed to be a prophet, and so my question is, how do you explain the sociological impact he had? Like,
You mean the impact?
how come? No. Just gonna finish my question.
Well, I just want to. Your sociology is going to bury you because of your prophet. There are young girls who are being married and mounted by.
That's not.
Can I make my point? Can I make my point? Relax. According to the filthy teachings of your prophet, you have now young girls being mounted by grown men and violated. You have women who've been taken captive and molested. And you have men who were beheaded and children enslaved. This is the sociological impact of the filth of Islam. I don't think you want to go there.
No, I'm not talking about the details of what you just said.
You have another question?
I didn't even say my question.
You know, buddy, it's not about you. Get off your horse and go suckle mommy's breast. It's about the Trinity. You don't have a question about Trinity? Go kiss the black stone like a good Muslim monotheist. If you have a question about Trinity?
Avery.
Let's go to the Trinity.
Avery.
Yeah.
Man, you saw me. I was completely respectful. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to.
Stop playing narcissist. Your prophet also was respectful. He had the upper hand, and he beheaded.
Man, I just want to. Yes, one question. I just
Hey,
have
look,
one question.
here it is. Look. If you have a question on the Trinity, you're more than welcome to stay and, of course, ask the question. If you have another question that's off the subject, I would suggest come back on another time.
Come Monday when he's talking.
We can talk about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be live Monday, and
Eric D.
it'll be open. So you just come in with your subject, okay?
Eric D.
Okay, I still have one question for the Trinity, and also Monday. If I come, I'm gonna have the same username, so we'll do. In case you.
Perfect.
Okay.
So yes,
Eric, hold on 1 second. Eric D, stop barking before I stuff with your vomit. Return to your vomit. Shut your mouth. But go ahead, my brother in humanity.
Okay, so it's just so basically, if you throw me in a jungle,
you're gonna bury yourself with that argument. Be careful. Be careful.
Me?
Yes. I know the argument. Can I?
I know you do.
Okay, but you just okay. Okay, well, let me
Okay,
just
what's the argument?
say, if you throw me in a jungle and I don't have a Bible, I will know there's one God, but I'll never conclude he's a Trinity. See, he's going to ask me something similar. He thinks I haven't heard it, but go ahead and ask now.
Yeah. No, it's exactly that.
Say it again? That was
No, it's, basically. Yeah, so can I ever...
buried us now. You just buried us.
Can I... Why?
Go ahead. Make your argument. Go ahead.
Yeah, so can I ever come to a conclusion of the Trinity if I have nothing, basically?
Yeah, you just buried Islam. I want you to thank you for destroying Muhammad and your God. Why? Did you guys hear it? Okay, I want you to hear it because he's not thinking. He thinks he's being intelligent. So, guys, he just said.
Can I predict?
Can I repeat? Can I answer you now? You want to talk?
No, I want to do the same. I want to do the same thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I just want to.
Hold on, let me do it. Guys, he just said, if you leave me in a jungle,
I like blue.
if you leave me in a jungle and I don't have any Christians or anyone, I will see from creation there's one God, but I'll never conclude there's a Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see how smart you are. So you're telling me just looking at creation, I'll know that God is one, but I'll never come up with a Trinity, right?
Yeah, you won't come to the conclusion of the Trinity.
Then how the hell did they come to the conclusion of the Trinity?
No, what's that got to do with Islam?
And no, who gives a damn about Islam? I'm answering your question. Listen, if people left on their own will never come up with a Trinity, Einstein, how did the Christians come up with the Trinity? Because you just said, left on their own, they cannot come up with it. So how did they come up with it?
The Council of Nicaea.
How did they come up with it?
They had a look. I swear I don't know anything about history.
Come on.
No. But is it the Council of Nicaea? They had a meeting.
Man, I want to just listen to yourself. If men cannot come up with the Trinity, but you just said men came up with the Trinity. So can they come up with the Trinity or not?
Can they come up with the Trinity with the Bible?
Did you remember what you said earlier? If you leave men alone on their own, they'll never come up with the Trinity, but they'll say God is one. But now you're saying men did come up with the Trinity. So that means you contradict yourself. That means men can reason.
No. Can I tell you why?
You're trying to torture me with this guy?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. The guy.
I swear, Sam, we're just having fun. Honestly, like.
No, but because I want to go to the Trinity, you're not getting it, so I don't want to have.
No, I'm trying to respond. I'm trying to say.
Okay, go ahead, respond.
So I'm talking without even Jesus existing. I'm talking. Forget Jesus.
Forget Jesus. Okay.
Yes.
So you're telling me that you need Jesus to reveal the Trinity. You just buried yourself.
No. I'm talking. First of all, the Trinity was.
You just made my case. You just proved that it's because of Jesus that they understood the Trinity, which means Jesus revealed the Trinity. Because if there was no Jesus, they wouldn't know about the Trinity. But you're too slow. You're not getting it.
First of all, my view on it is people interpreted the message wrong. But before Jesus, what did people believe?
Go to the next one.
What did people believe? What did people believe before Jesus?
In the Old Testament, they believed that the one God of Abraham was more than one person. The Jews, that's God, the angel of the Lord, and the Holy Spirit. You see, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Go back, study.
No, I'm talking. I'm talking nothing. You know nothing about nobody. I'm talking before Jews.
Hey, Lou.
No, it's
come back. Come back Monday. Me and you can talk.
No.
And but
no, I know.
Sam's up to here, bro. He's up to here, man.
All right, welcome back. Hope you've learned on this amazing video. Please do it to like, subscribe, hit up the notification button so that each time we drop our new videos you'll be notified, and do it to write in the comment section whatever thing you've learned from this video. Okay, as you can see in this video, this Muslim guy claims to say in the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 36, where Jesus Christ speak and said that him himself don't know the hour that the Son of Man, that the end of this time will come, because he's not the Father. So this guy was claiming to say at this particular time that Jesus is not God. And Sam began to give him proof that why will he just take that particular part and just conclude that Jesus is not God because of this part. This was the main reason that makes him become a Muslim. And Sam started from the book of Matthew, from the first chapter, from the book of Matthew chapter 1, where Sam began to give him proof about Jesus, how Jesus Christ was given birth, that the angel of the Lord came to Mary and told Mary that you conceive a child and that name will be called Emmanuel. And so what was the meaning of Emmanuel? Means God with us. So this means God will leave the heavens and come to earth and stay with us. So Sam gave him this proof, and Sam gave him so many proof in the Old Testament and the New Testament, which prove that Jesus Christ is God. And when Jesus Christ was about leaving this earth, that's when he was going to heaven. Finally, after his crucifixion, he made a statement. He said, "Now I'm going to my Father to sit at the right hand of my Father." Sam made it clear to him there that when Jesus Christ is in heaven, is already there in heaven, is going to be with his Father and is going to sit down at the right hand of his Father. And on the last day, he will be the one to come and judge everyone. And this Muslim guy was saying, so why would he, if he claims that he is God, so why is it that he don't know this ending? And Sam has already made it clear to him, Matthew 1 down to the Old Testament, down to the New Testament. I hope you've learned on this amazing video. Please do it to like, subscribe, hit up the notification button so that each time we drop our new videos, you'll be notified. Thanks for watching this amazing video.